this video, we're going to share 32 things you need to know before visiting Malaysia. Chances are that if you are watching this video, you're planning a trip to Malaysia, so you've come to the right place. We highly recommend you watch it until the end because we've packed this video with useful information that won't only make you feel more prepared, but I guarantee will help you have an incredible holiday.
Number 1. Rooftop infinity pools in Kuala Lumpur aren't just for fancy hotels. Even budget apartments often have them, and nothing beats swimming with skyscrapers all around.
And speaking of rooftops, KL rooftop bars are next level. Heli Lounge Bar is literally on a helipad, so there's no railings, just the skyline views. We've created a list with more than 100 locations in Kuala Lumpur, from rooftop bars to restaurants, landmarks, and more. Make sure to check the link in the description if you want to check it out.
Number 3. The weather is unpredictable chaos. Sunshine flips to a monsoon downpour in minutes, so always best to carry a small umbrella.
And if you are traveling during monsoon season, know that boats to islands may not even operate. Sometimes getting there just isn't possible.
Number 5. The easiest way to move around cities is Grab. It's safe, cheap, and works almost everywhere, except in some of the smaller islands.
The good news, Malaysia is generally a very safe country, although just in case, make sure you are always aware of your surroundings, obviously.
Let's talk food and what you must try. First, nasi lemak. It's Malaysia's national dish. Next,
Ramly burger. That's my favorite, and it's basically an unofficial national dish.
And don't leave without trying the teo ice. It's a sweet iced tea that locals drink daily. If you can, get it to take away so that you drink it the Malaysian way, in a bag.
Number 10. Eating with your hands is also completely normal. In fact, it's a cultural practice, and you'll see it as a respectful way when you do it properly.
I loved eating with hands.
You did.
And if you are at a local restaurant, don't expect them to give you a knife. You can always ask for it, but usually they'll give you a fork and spoons, and they tend to do the job just fine.
Jinx. When paying, cash is still very widely used, especially in smaller town and rural areas, so just make sure you always have some on you.
Number 13, Langkawi is duty-free. This means that majority of the things will be cheaper.
There's a group of islands called the Perhentian Islands where there are no cars nor roads. They are so beautiful and worth visiting.
Number 15, on other islands like Langkawi, Tioman or Pankor, renting a scooter gives you so much freedom to explore anything that you want.
If you're a diving fan, Sipadan is one of the best diving spots in the world.
Number 17, there's a place in Malaysia people say is a cheaper version of the Maldives, and that's Semporna. It has turquoise waters and wooden stilt villages that feel just unreal.
We have reached halfway, so if you are finding this video helpful, you can really help us by simply liking the video and subscribing. Of course, if you are not liking it, then click the dislike button because feedback is always appreciated for us.
Number 18, for pure relaxation, Red Dang is the winner. White sand, calm vibes, and not overly party heavy.
But don't just stick to the famous islands. Exploring lesser known spots like Pankor can be a real surprise. We absolutely loved it.
Number 20, Malaysia used to be a British colony, which explains a lot of the English influence.
And English is still widely spoken, which makes traveling so much easier because you can just talk to everyone.
But don't mistake Malaysia for one culture. It's a mix of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and dozens of indigenous groups, all blending into one.
Jinx. That diversity extends to wildlife too, so don't be shocked if you see monkeys or monitor lizards just casually crossing the road, especially in Langkawi and Borneo.
Another cultural thing to know is that Friday is a prayers day. In some towns, shops and restaurants literally pause for hours around the midday. So always bear that in mind if you're planning to go out that day.
Number 25, not everything lives up to the hype though. To us personally, Genting Highlands near Kuala Lumpur feels a little bit overrated. If you are going to learn the Malaysian culture and enjoy the landscapes, it wouldn't be in our list.
On the other hand, Mount Kinabalu is 100% worth it. It's Malaysia's tallest mountain, and if you are fit enough, you can actually climb it.
I wish we were fit enough to climb it, but one day. For adrenaline seekers, it also has the world's highest view of Ferrata. It's a climbing route with ladders and cables, and this one is definitely on our to-do list.
Then there's the Cameron Highlands. Tea plantations, strawberry farms, misty hills. It feels like stepping into another world.
On the east coast, you might stumble upon glow-in-the-dark beaches. There are some beaches that have bioluminescent planktons, which light up the waves at night. You just have to catch a dark beach, basically.
And it feels very magical. In Borneo, however, orangutans are the star. You can see them in the wild, but if you want to increase your chance to see them, visit the rehabilitation center in Sepilok. That's where we got to see so many.
And here is a wild bit of history. There used to be pirates in the northern waters of Borneo. We are saying there used to be, but we don't really know the situation now. The main reason is because they come from the Philippines. So if you take a boat in northern Borneo, check the situation first.
Having said this, wildlife really is everywhere. We remember seeing beautiful hornbills in Pankor, but especially in Borneo.
We actually fed them in Pankor. And if you are in Borneo, keep an eye out for the big five. These are Bornean orangutan, pygmy elephant, proboscis monkey, and rhinoceros hornbill, and the estuarine crocodile. We managed to see all of them except the pygmy elephant. So I guess we have to go back.
And it's definitely a fun thing to do if you're going to Borneo.
We actually created a free wildlife bingo, so just head to our travel shop and you'll be able to download it. And then when you are in your tour, you can just cross them off as you go.
We really hope you love these 32 things you need to know before visiting Malaysia.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which one was your favorite one.